Hi guys! I was giving it a wiggle before we even got started. How are we doing? Oh, goodness. Well, settle down, iPad. Just calm down. It's okay. How are we doing, guys? It's Thursday. It is Friday Eve, which is such a good day. It's such a good day. And I don't have a Michael's class this Saturday, so I actually have like a full weekend, which I'm not complaining. The Saturday Michael's class, the one that I had this past Saturday, was amazing. Like, we had huge numbers. It was so cool. It was awesome. But it is nice to have a Saturday, right? It's nice. Hi, my friends. Hi, Katie. Hi, Nancy, Anita. Hi, everybody. Miss Dawn. I'm so happy to see you guys. So, speaking of seeing you guys, yesterday I had a Michael's class, a virtual class at 2 p.m. And there were so many of you. I know I keep saying that every time I have one, but it's only been 3 classes so far. And I got to tell you guys that your presence, I know I've said it before, but your presence there means the world to me. It relaxes me so much because when the Michael's classes start, what happens is the classes start at 2 o'clock, but I have to go to like the waiting area and it's a full 30 minutes before the class starts. So it's me sitting in, just sitting here waiting, but in my camera here is the director, if you will, just the person that's in charge of all the technical stuff that works for Michael's. And those 30 minutes while we like make sure that the cameras are working and everything, it doesn't take a full 30 minutes to do that. So after the first 10 minutes are over and everything is set, I have 20 minutes to kind of sit here and wait. And that's the kicker. That's the kicker. It's the 30 minutes that I'm sitting here waiting that I like get into my own head, and then I'm like, I make myself nervous. It's so silly because I have taught classes a million times, right? I've taught a million classes live. I've done live TV. I've done live classes on Facebook. I've done, you would think that it would be old hat to me and it wouldn't bother me, but it's those 20 minutes where I'm sitting there like waiting, and you get into your own head, and like by the time the class starts you're like, oh, I'm so nervous. So having you guys there, it's so nice because I see your little faces pop up, or even if you've got your camera turned off and I just see your little box with your name, I'm like, whew, I can relax. My people are here. Because there are a lot of people there that I don't know. So there are a lot of people that I don't recognize, right? And to have you guys there, it makes a big difference. So I'm so appreciative of you guys in so many ways. And that is just one of the ways that it's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. It makes me feel so much better. Because I know that if things goof up, you guys have got my back, and you know that, so yeah, you're very appreciated. All right, so let's talk about today's project. This is a fun one. This is definitely a Throwback Thursday project. This is something that I did many moons ago. I think when I very first started doing design work for Beadalon, I was looking for interesting ways to use things. Like, that's always been kind of one of the things that I really love about jewelry making is I like to think outside the box, of course, and find ways to use things in unexpected ways, which is really, really fun. And this was one of those projects because I had a ton at the time of bracelet sliders that I had used with elasticity, right? They make great elastic bracelets. They're nice and wide. They've got the 2-hole. I'll show you. So this is just one, for example. So it's nice and large, right? When you look at it from the side, you can see there are 2 holes. So you need 2 threads or 2 kinds of stringing material to create a bracelet with these, right? Or you can use them as a focal in the front of your necklace, which is actually going to be a project on one of my Michael's virtual classes coming up in March, I believe. So if you want to see these used in a necklace project, not these exact ones, but sliders in a necklace, that's going to be a fun class. However, like I was saying, I had a bunch of these left over where I had used them to make stretch bracelets, and I was trying to come up with ways to use them differently. And so I got this wild idea, I know, so radical, not really, to turn them sideways and turn them into focals for earrings. And I realize that's big, right? That makes it's going to make a big earring, okay? But it could make a pendant, or you could get smaller sliders, or if you've got smaller sliders in your stash, you can use smaller ones. So they don't have to be huge, but I think they're fabulous. They make really great, like, for me, it's like fancy going out jewelry. I would totally rock this earring design that we're going to make. I would wear it every day, no problem. But for some people, it's going to be just a little too much sparkle and a little bit too much, you know, fanciness. So think of, like, you know, if you've got a Zoom wedding to go to, right? Or somewhere where you're going to be dressed up. I know there are not a lot of those occasions right now with things the way that they are, but, you know, showstopper pieces for your booth, showstopper pieces for your ears. That's what this is all about. Let's see here. Hold on. I want to scroll back. I saw something. Okay, so that was, sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked there. I was scrolling back just a second to see what Joan had said, because Joan was making sure that my Michael's virtual classes are getting posted over to YouTube, not my YouTube, but the Michael's YouTube. So for those of you who missed the class, or you can't get in for whatever reason, or, you know, you just want to watch it over and over again, those get posted on the Michael's YouTube channel. Sometimes they do not post in the same day. And I don't know if it was just because yesterday was kind of a busy day on social media and traffic was really bad, but it didn't get posted until today, right? That's right, isn't it, Joan? It got posted earlier. I'm pretty sure that's what she said. So anyway, just side note there. If you are interested in watching yesterday's class and you didn't get a chance to watch it, you can watch it now over. Sorry, don't mean to point at you. You can watch it over on the Michael's YouTube channel. Okay, so for our project, what we're going to need is we're only going to need 2 of the sliders, and you need to make sure that they definitely are sliders. And when I say sliders, what I mean is that they have 2 holes. Some of the sliders have 3 holes. That's okay too. But the ones that I'm using are 2-hole sliders. Okay. And they come in a million different shapes and sizes and varieties. So if yours don't look like mine, that's okay. I got these from Michael's like a long time ago. I don't know that they even carry these anymore, but they do have a variety of really beautiful ones. So you can definitely get some if you don't have any. Let's see what else. They normally come 4 to a card, so you can get 2 pairs of earrings out of them if you're looking to buy some, if you don't have any that's already in your stash. You're only going to need a little bit of materials. You're going to need your beads, of course. I'll show those to you in a minute. You're going to need 2 pieces of 22 gauge gold color for the one that we're using, silver if that's what you're using. 2 pieces of 22 gauge German style wire in the gold, and then let's see, some jump rings and some eye pins. That's pretty much it. It doesn't take a lot of materials, and the results are like, wow. So enough chit chat about it. Let's get down to it, shall we? All right. So funny when I say shall we, it always makes me think of when people call their pigs, you know, and they say suey. That's what, yeah, showing my country. My country roots there. All right, so here's my slider that I'm going to be using for my earring. Okay, and guys, let me show you the finished one so you can kind of see where we're going with this, because this is definitely a sparkly pair of earrings, and they are on the large side. Okay, and I am all about that life. If you are not about that life, oh, wiggle. Yes, sorry. If you are not about all of the sparkle, you definitely don't have to use crystal beads for this. And if you're not into the big, you can certainly make adjustments to this to make it much, much smaller, with the exception of your slider. I mean, you really can't change the way it looks, right? More wiggling. I wiggled. Let me know. Let me know if it's okay. All right, so I'm going to lay that guy down. I'm going to wiggle a little bit more. How's the wiggle now? how's the wiggle now? I think the wiggle's good, but how is the sound? Is the sound better now? We have a little bit of a delay, so I'll give it a second. Pam says all good. Okay, good. All right, so I'm using drop beads. I've got 2 of these glass faceted drops, and you can use whatever kind of drop you want to. I'm using the ones that are drilled, you know, side to side up here at the top. You can really do this however you want to. You can use a drop that's drilled top to bottom and just put it on a head pin, whichever you're more comfortable with, but I'm going to show you how to wire wrap that guy. Okay, we're going to use some 6mm crystal bicones. I don't know where I got these. I know for sure they are not Swarovski. They are just some sort of, you know, I'm pretty sure that I got them on a card of a bunch. Okay. Oh, look at that. The light is brightening up. That's what I was looking for. I kept adjusting the lights here. I'm like, why is it not getting brighter? All right, so the other beads that we're going to use are some really small rondelles. These are like a 4mm rondelle. You don't have to use rondelles. You can use bicones, or you can use just regular plain round beads if you want to. But you do want these to be a little bit smaller. I want them to be smaller than the bicones that I'm using. So my bicones are 6mm and my little rondelles are around a 4mm, but because they're kind of a squatty rondelle, it's more like a 3 and 4, right? Like a 3 this way and a 4 the other way. So either way, you just want them to be a little bit smaller than your bicone. Okay. All right. So as far as beads, that's it. Doesn't take a lot of beads to put this together. We've already got a lot going on here with our slider. And that's the beauty of the sliders. They already have such a beautiful look to them. The ones that I did in the original pair, I will try to find that photo for you guys because that was a really long time ago, but it was a beautiful pair of earrings made with bracelet sliders, and they were round and they had like a faux pearl in the center, very big. I think it was probably, you know, at least a 17, 18mm pearl in the middle, and then around the outside was rhinestones. So it was really sparkly and gorgeous. It made a beautiful bracelet, but I had leftovers, and so it made amazing earrings. But this one we're using our oval shape turned to the side. Okay, so other things, I'm going to be using some 4mm jump rings and quite a few of these. If you want to use chain, just small chain instead, you absolutely can. Okay, I'm just using the 4mm jump rings just to show you, if you don't have small pieces of chain, that you can make your own. Okay, so let's get started with, let's see, how to get this going. So I was trying to remember what the order I did this in yesterday. Let's go ahead and wire wrap this guy first, and then we'll move on from here. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of that 22 gauge wire. You're not going to need a lot of this. You just need maybe I don't know, 4 inches of this will be plenty. My piece is way longer than 4 inches. Okay, but I'm going to take my 22 gauge German style wire. I'm going to thread my bead onto it. Okay, and I'm going to drop that to the center. It doesn't have to be exactly in the center. It's fine. It really doesn't make much difference at all. But I'm going to take one side of the wire and bend it in the same angle as the bead, right? The bead comes up to a point, so I want my wire to follow that path. I'm going to turn my bead over. Okay, and I'm going to take the other side of the wire and I want it to go in the same path as well. So what happens is we end up with a little triangle over the top of our bead. That's exactly what you want. Doesn't have to be right up against the bead. As you can see, there's daylight between my wires crossing and the top of my bead. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with a pair of chain nose pliers. I'm going to take one of those wires and bend it straight up and down. Okay. Now the other wire, I'm going to give it just a very slight bend and kind of bend it more out to a 90-degree angle. So we have kind of a L shape, or it is an L shape. It's not kind of. It absolutely is an L shape here with our wires. Now I'm going to come in with my bent chain nose pliers just because I need to hold on to that triangle space there. And the curved chain nose pliers are the perfect, you know, they're the perfect shape for that. So I'm going to switch hands and I'm going to wire wrap around a couple of times, and I'm kind of making my wire wraps a little bulky, right? Actually wrapped around twice, and then I kind of went over those wraps. You can do this however you want to. You can make big messy wraps. It makes absolutely no difference. Totally up to you. I'm going to trim that off. Okay. Now I have a single bead, and I need to put a wrapped loop on the top of this so that we can attach this to our earring when we get to that point. So I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers. I'm going to grab the wire right over the top of the wire wraps that we just made, and I'm going to bend the wire 90 degrees. That's going to give me plenty of room between the bend of the wire and the wraps here to not only come in with my round nose pliers, but to make the wire wraps in between there. Okay, so round nose pliers, taking the wire up and over the round nose pliers, not moving the tool, only moving the wire. Now I need to move the pliers out of the way so that I can take the wire over and close up my loop. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. And now we're just going to wire wrap in that space, and I'm going to double it up, make it kind of chunky monkey. So I've gone around a few times, and then I'm going to just go back over those. So I went from top to bottom. Now I'm going from bottom to top, just wrapping around and kind of using up my wire. Now, if you want yours nice and clean, you don't have to do the double wrap, okay? But I kind of like the chunky monkey. So, all right, I'm going to come in, trim off the excess wire, and now we have successfully wrapped our little bracelet shaped bead. Gabriella says, where can we find bracelet sliders? So you can get bracelet sliders definitely at Michael's. I've seen them pretty much at all of the big box stores. You can get them at Hobby Lobby for sure, and Joann's. And they come in a wide variety of styles. So there's definitely one for everybody. If you're not into the big sparkle, there are some that are just metal, and some of them I've seen with some really intricate filigree, just really pretty. So there's one for every occasion for sure. And they usually come on a card of 4, so you've got enough left over to make more than one pair of earrings. Hey, Bethany, how you doing? Okay, so there's our bead. It's ready to go. I'm going to sit this guy over to the side because we don't need him quite yet. But what I do want to do is I want to take 4 of my 4mm jump rings, okay, and I want to connect these to each other. So just in 2s. I'm going to open one, thread on, and close that back. So I've linked 2 4mm jump rings. I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2, and I'm not going to link these to each other. I just want them to be connected as such, right? Just like what we've got here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab another piece of my 22 gauge wire, about 6 inches of this. Whoa, I cut way more than 6 inches. Got a little overexcited there. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to thread on 3 of my little bicones. I'm sorry, rondelles. These are not bicones. These are rondelles. Or round beads, whichever you're using, or maybe you are using small bicones. It makes no difference, but there's 3 of those. Let those drop to the middle of the wire. Now I'm going to thread on 1 of the jump rings out of our set of 2 on one side and 1 on the other side. Okay, so those are there. I'm going to put 1 more of the rondelles on either side to go on either side of our jump rings. Okay, just like that. Okay, now I want to take the 2 ends of the wire, kind of bend them up this direction. It doesn't matter if they're even, you want it to be pretty close, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference at the moment. Okay, but we want to kind of create a U shape with our beads. Okay, and we've got our 2 pieces of wire coming up this direction. Now I'm going to turn this over, okay, so you can see, because there's 2 holes here, but I've got to thread through on the back. So I want to take 1 end of my wire through one of the holes and 1 end, one end through the other. Okay. Sorry about the glare there. It's kind of hard to see. Okay. Now I want to go all the way across and out the other side, just like that. Okay. Now I want to pull on that wire, and we're creating a little arch down here at the bottom. Okay. And then straighten our wires out up here at the top. You've got a couple of inches on either side to work with. But down here on the bottom, this section is ready to add our chain and our dangles to. Okay, but up here we want to bring some beads into this area as well. So on either side of our wire, I'm going to thread on 2 more of our bicones. I'm sorry, gosh, I've got bicones on the brain. Rondelles. Thread on 2 rondelles on either side of the wire. Okay, now we want to wire wrap these together. So I want to crisscross my wires, sort of like our Bracelet. I'm going to take one of them and kind of bend it to the back just to kind of hook on to one. I'm going to go ahead and take my chain nose pliers, take that one wire straight up and down. Okay. Now the wire that we hooked onto it, that we kind of took to the back, we want to wrap around and just wire wrap. Okay. I'm doing kind of a spiral, kind of flat-ish wire wrap. I'm not really making kind of a little stand for my bead to go on. I'm not really making, you know, a up and down wire wrap. It's really just kind of a flat, right? So it's more of a spiral. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim off the excess that we don't need. Okay. And now I'm going to thread on 1 more of the little rondelles just to top it off. Okay, and that's going to sit right on top of that little wire wrapped platform. And I'm just going to wire wrap. Okay, so chain nose pliers, bending the wire. I'm not going to do a chunky monkey wrap here. I'm just going to do a standard wire wrap. So chain nose pliers, now I'm using the round nose pliers, up and over, roll the pliers out of the way. Take the wire over to the other side. I'm going to switch hands here, and then I'm just going to do 3 wire wraps underneath the loop that we just made. Okay. Come to the back and trim that off. All right, now we can go ahead and add our ear wire to this while we're already here. Right? And we're more than 50% of the way done with our earring. The last thing we're going to do is add the beautiful kind of chain drop section on the bottom. Okay, we're going to build that with our 4mm jump rings, and we're going to hang our bicones from it. So I need to take, I've got 6 of the bicones. I need 6 head pins. Okay, I'm going to thread all of these on to, I'm going to move that stuff out of the way. I'm going to thread all of these onto head pins. So you don't have to make your own knotted ones unless you just want to, but I'm keeping it kind of easy today, right? We're not getting super technical with things. We're just doing some of our standard techniques to get really beautiful results. Okay, so threading all of these on, and then I'm just going to do wire wrapped loops with these. If you want to do just regular, you know, just simple loops, you can, and it may actually be easier for you when it comes time to attach these to our jump rings, just because you can actually open those and close those. Putting the jump ring chain part together is not hard. It is just a little on the finicky side, and you'll see when we get to that point, you'll see I'm really picky about it, so it takes me a minute. That's why I'm saving it till the end. All right, so I'm just going to do wrapped loops on all of these, you guys, and I'm using really small head pins for this. Mine are 24 gauge. Use whatever you've got. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm just kind of partial to the really thin ones just because I love the way that they wrap. You can really kind of spin them around. Oh, except that's the problem. My bead fell off the bottom as I was talking about it. Did you see that? Let me double check the rest of them and make sure. That's the thing about the small ones, is you don't want your bead. Oh, that one didn't fit either. Some of the holes on the beads are too big for the headband. All right, let me grab 2 more headbands here. Oh, goodness. Oh, well, that's all right. Live and learn, right? I should have double checked before, but that's okay. It happens. Just as I was talking about how much I like that smaller gauge wire. Okay, that one's going to fit just fine. And so is that one. Okay. All right, so I'm grabbing the wire, and you'll see when I do the wire wraps how I can just get kind of, I don't know, this is just an odd satisfaction out of this thin gauge wire. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do the loop. So up and over the top barrel. Roll the pliers out of the way, take the wire over to the other side. Now, because it's this thin, bendable wire, I can hold on to it and like wind it up like a baseball pitch, which I don't know, it just is oddly satisfying to me. It's like I can wrap it all around and it creates these funny little wire doodads, which I know is so silly. Like, why do I like that so much? But I just do. It's like I'm winding the wire up. It just makes me happy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, trim off, and we're going to wind up the other ones. With the thicker gauge wire, you just don't get the same kind of satisfaction out of it. Like, you can still do your wire wraps, but they don't spin nearly as fast. It's the simple things, you guys, the simple things. All right, up and over, rolling the pliers, taking the wire over. Then we're going to hold on to it. We're going to spin it around. And see how it spins around the top of my pliers? It's just so gratifying. So weird, but so gratifying. I like it. I have a harder time doing that with a thicker wire. You know, the thicker wire makes me, you know, have to behave and be a professional. Hi, Carolyn. It's okay that you're late. We're glad you're here. All right, up and over, roll the pliers, switching hands. All right, ready? We're winding up for the pitch. There we go. And sometimes it breaks, which is also satisfying. Weird, right? I know, I'm such a weirdo. But I don't know. Jewelry's about having fun, right? You find just those little things that just, I don't know. I suppose it falls into the categories of simple mind, simple pleasure, you know, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. All right, we've got 3 more to go. Roll the pliers out of the way, take the wire over. Try it. Tell me you don't like it. I dare you. You'll be like, oh, that's so fun. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Oh, goodness. I guess that's why, Robin. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, gosh, I'm such a weirdo. Like, why? You guys show up for my Facebook Lives and I do the most bizarre things. I'm like super excited about spinning the wire around. I eat gross food. But yet you guys come and support me when I do, you know, when I do virtual classes and you give me good reviews, and you guys are the best. That's all I can say. So you guys are the best. Weirdos unite. Yep, let your weird little light shine so that the other weird little lights can find you. I don't think that's exactly how that goes, but you get it. Let your weird little light shine. All right, so that's the last one. Okay, so we have enjoyably made our little wrapped loops on all of our bicones here. Okay, now we're ready to put this together, and this is the part where I get a little, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm very picky. Okay, so, and let me show you why. So we're using 7 4mm jump rings for each side. Okay, we're making pieces of chain out of our 4mm jump rings, and as I'm hooking those pieces together, I want my bicones to be attached as we go. Okay, and not only do I want those attached, but I want them all on the same side, right? So that they're going to hang the correct way. The problem is that one side hangs one way and the other side hangs the other way. And you think you've done it right until you attach it to the earring, and then you realize that your bicones are hanging all wonky. So if we go really slow through this part, just know it's because I'm super, super picky and I may have to take it apart and put it back together again, but it just doesn't hang as nicely. The bicones won't hang as nicely in that pretty tier shape if the bicones are in the wrong position, okay? And really the only way to get it is just trial and error, because you can think you've got it the first time, attach it, and you'll see that it's not. So you'll see this is where the perfectionist in me definitely takes a little bit over. So one of the things that I have found that makes this a little bit easier though is to attach the bicones first to a 4mm jump ring. Okay, each one of those attached to a 4mm jump ring, and then kind of build your chain from that. So I'm going to do just that. Okay, just going to open 4mm jump ring, thread that on, and you can see that's why if you were going to do a simple loop instead of a wrapped loop, you could very easily just open and close your simple loops to readjust your beads. Whereas the way that I'm doing it, because they're wrapped loops, I have to actually open and close the jump rings and reset everything. So that part can be a little tedious, but in my mind, it's worth it. Just in my opinion, it's worth it because of the way that the beads will hang at the end. And I'm really, really picky about that. Okay, so there are those three. We're going to go ahead and put these three on as well. This will be the three for the other side. So just by doing this now, we're saving just a little bit of time. Can the earring be hung from something? Yeah. So a way to fix this issue, and this is only really a major issue because I'm working on a flat surface. If you had something that you could clip the earring to, or you could clip the chain to, as you were working like a third hand, that would definitely help for sure. But because I'm working on a flat surface, it just becomes a little bit more tricky, right? All right, so now we're going to build up our little pieces of chain here. And if you'll remember, we've already thread on the beginnings of our chain. Those are already attached to our earrings. So we're going to build off of those guys. Okay, so part of our jump rings are already here. All right, so I'm going to take a jump ring. I'm going to thread it to one of my crystals. Before I close it, I'm going to thread on the jump ring of the next crystal. Okay, so that guy is going to go right in between. Okay. Then I'm going to lay that down so that I can really kind of eyeball and see where everything is. Now, yes, Joan, the chain station would be perfect. You may have to, let's see, with the chain station though, the problem is that the two pegs are so far apart, and this is a short little section, but you definitely could use at least one of the little clips on it for sure. That would definitely be helpful. All right, just want to be sure that all of my jump rings are going in the direction that I want them to. Okay. And again, you think you've got it. If you're doing it flat, you think you've got it, and then you go to put it on the earring and you realize it's not quite right. But we're going to keep our fingers crossed here. Okay. Actually, I didn't mean to close this one. I need to go ahead and open this one back up because I need to attach this one to one of the jump rings that's already attached to our earring here. Okay. So open that back up, attach it there. Close it back. Okay. Now I kind of hold everything out. I can see my bicones are going to be all hanging on the right side as long as the next one that I attach is in the correct direction, because just one out of whack can put everything off. So see how I've got it laid out just like that. Okay, I'm going to use another jump ring. Okay, I'm going to open this jump ring up. I'm going to thread it to our bracelet, and then I want to thread it onto the last jump ring here. Oh gosh, I need I need teeny tiny fingers to make this work here. Hold on. Just want that bead to stay where it is sitting. Okay, close that back, hold your breath, hold it out. Okay, one side is good, right? Hold on. But is it? I think I did it the wrong. Hold on. Oh shoot, they're all going to be hanging to the inside. No! Okay, so see how when I hold it all out, they're all going to the inside. I want them to go to the outside. So I'm going to very carefully undo and move it over here to this side. See what I'm telling you? It's tricky. It's tricky business. It's not hard. It's just, you know, if you are a super perfectionist when it comes to this kind of thing, these are the kind of things that keep you up at night. All right, so close that one back. Now let's hold it out, take a look-see. Okay, so now my bicones are going to be hanging to the outside, correct? It's so hard to tell until you get the entire thing put together. Okay, we're gonna hold our breath on that one. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. If not, I'll just fix it. I'll just fix it. Yeah, at least you can move it. There, you're not committed. You can definitely move it. That's the good thing about using the jump rings instead of like a piece of chain, where if you're using like a really small piece of cable chain, it's really hard to open and close those little pieces, those little links of chain. So that's part of the reason I went with jump rings here, was just because I felt like, you know, it was a little bit more easy to deal with. All right, I'm missing some jump rings, so let me grab, I don't know why I ended up without enough jump rings for this. Okay, so a few more jump rings. Karen, you can get some bracelet sliders. You can get them at Michael's. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. I've definitely seen them at Joann's, and they come in such a wide variety. So there's definitely one for everybody. Okay, so same thing, working with these three. Okay, attaching. Okay, and another jump ring. Okay. And then another one of these guys. Close that back. Oof, okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, so far so good. So far so good, right? Want to turn it around this way. Okay, I'm going to open this one back up. I'm going to attach it here. Come on, little dude. There we go. Okay. So far so good, right? All right, I just need one more jump ring, and it really needs to behave. Really want it to behave. So open up the jump ring. I'm going to go ahead and thread it to our bead and thread it to the last jump ring there. Oh, cross your fingers. Hold your breath. It's the moment of truth. Oh, I got it. I got it. Perfect. Now you can see how there's a reason why I'm so picky about it, because I want those bicones to hang in that perfect tiered shape. I don't want them flipping to the center or anything like that, because if you do, then it doesn't hang as beautifully. You've got to go slow with that part, right? So that it really hangs the way you want it to. Chain and beads and, you know, charms, things like that that you're mixing all together, it can be tricky because you want your chain to go one way, you want your beads to go another way, you've got empty spaces in between there, right? It can be kind of tricky. So I'm glad I got it that time. All right, so there you go. There is a beautiful, I'm talking, this is like showstopper earrings, right? With a pair of earrings like this, you don't need much other jewelry, maybe a really sparkly bracelet and you're good to go. I definitely wouldn't want to wear a super sparkly necklace with this unless it matched, because I would be afraid that it would take away from the overall design. But I think they're pretty fancy. So let me turn you around so you can see them, because I do want to put them on. You guys are asking me to put them on. Definitely. Let me turn you around. Okay. And let me know how the volume is. Okay. And oh, I don't have on dangly earrings today, so this is perfect. I'll put these on. But you can see, so again, large earring, right? Big earring. You can totally change this up. You don't have to have all of this extra drapage down here at the bottom. If you don't want all of that, you can use a smaller slider. You don't have to use nearly as much as I did, but I'm always in the thoughts of more is more. So when it comes to earrings, I kind of go over the top, but oh, yes. With my Dr. Pepper t-shirt. Yeah, the bigger the better. I'm definitely in that mindset. The bigger the better. But not everybody is like that, and I get that, right? There is something to be said for understated, beautiful earrings. Simplicity can sometimes be all you need, and I get that. But what a fun little project, and a kind of outside of the box way to think about your sliders, other than just bracelets. I think they make the most fabulous earrings. Hello, those are just amazing. Shoulder dusters. I need to go somewhere. I need a Valentine's date. Who wants to go out? I know we're not supposed to, but darn, I haven't like gotten dressed up and gone anywhere in so long. Let's do it. I can't wait till we can, you guys. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. There are things in my closet. Those of you who know me, like in real life, know like most of the time I'm like sweatshirts, like, you know, sweatpants, yoga pants, stretch pants. Like that's my wardrobe. But when I go out, like really go out, I have more than one fur coat. They're not real. Okay. Don't kill me. They're fake fur, but gosh, they're fabulous. So fake fur, lots of sparkle and bling, and like victory rolls in my hair, and like I get dressed up. I dress up well. So these earrings would definitely be part of that. Yeah, I can't wait till we can go out again, because these definitely are like, let's go to dinner and have drinks and, you know, and be seen. These are definitely be seen earrings. All right, guys, so that is it for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this project. I hope that I've inspired you to look at some things, whether it's the bracelet sliders or not, right? What other things do you have in your stash that, you know, are usable in other ways? That's so fun, right? It gives you a sense of, you know, newness to your stash when you can open up things and look at things and be like, gosh, I've had these for 10 years and I've not used them. What can I do with them now? It's like shopping your own stash of stuff and giving new life to pieces that you've maybe had for a long time. Or if you've only got two of something like the sliders, you don't have enough to make a full piece of, you know, a full necklace or a bracelet with, turn them into earrings. Super fun. All right, that's it. I can't stop looking at them. They're so cool. All right, that's it for me today, you guys. Tomorrow is Feel Good Friday, which means we're going to do something fun and easy, and it will be fabulous. I don't know what it will be. That's what my job is here in just a moment. I'm going to take the dogs outside, let them run around, and come up with something fun for tomorrow. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye, guys.